And we're back. Sorry, we were having a little technical difficulties there.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes that's how podcasting go, my man. So, as I was saying before we had our little issue there, was one series I've been super late to was Near, and I think that's the series I want to kind of dive into next whenever I get the chance. Because I think there's a lot of rich lore there, and I'm a lore junkie. I love a
hmm
good story, and I like these eccentric game designers I tend to be a fan of just because it's different. You never really see shit like that a ton in video games, so I like it when guys are like, I guess, emboldened enough to tell a story.
Yeah, I think Nier has maybe one of the most ridiculously confusing plot lines in all of gaming because it's connected to the Drakengard series, but
Yes,
it's only connected to Drakengard
just
1.
a certain ending, isn't it?
Yes. Um, it's one of the side endings to Drakengard 1, and it takes place in our world, but I don't know. It's wild. There's a whole
I,
lore video breaking it
yeah,
down, and
I think that's super cool because like Drakengard was such a meh game that like came out on
Mhm.
PS2. Sadly, we're old enough to remember commercials for Drakengard. Ouch.
Um, also, I love the fact that the creator of Nier is like
Yes.
not embarrassed at all about how he just wants to have hot women in his video games. Someone asked him one time about all like the porn art of 2B, and he's like, I love it. It's awesome.
He
He's
makes it no fucks, like no
like,
fucks
all
at
right,
all.
buddy, that's pretty sweet, I guess. I don't know. So another franchise that I was super late to was, I think we were both, or it was Persona.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
play
yeah.
I didn't play Persona 3 FES until probably 2012, 2013. Fell in love with the series, of course, except for Persona 4. To me, that's the one I just can't get into. But I know a lot of people love Persona 4, but it's just not my thing. Um, I played Persona 3 for the first time, and I remember just sitting on my bed because I didn't have a gaming chair at the time, just going through every single day, just doing the same stuff every day. And for a little bit there, it got pretty monotonous and boring. But then I thought that the story was just super good and the characters were phenomenal. And I'm really excited. What do you think about this supposed remake we're getting?
I'm excited about that. I think Persona 3 needs some justice done to it because I feel
Well,
like for the time it was a good game, but it could definitely use a revamp. And like if they do it correctly, which I'm sure
did,
Atlas will, they don't fuck up much.
did you see the supposed leaked footage of Yukari shooting her bow? Yukari? Is
No,
that
I
her
did
name?
not.
I
Yes,
think it's okay.
Yukari.
So there is this footage that Sega used at an internal business meeting and it's just of like games being released soon, and every single one of the other games was announced except for this short clip of Yukari shooting her bow, and it looks phenomenal, dude. It looks like Persona 5, but it's Persona 3.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with the Persona series moving forward because 5 was good, and then I guess for all intents and purposes, people really like the Royal. I
Mhm.
don't like that Strikers is apparently a sequel. Now I feel like I have to play it,
But
which
it's a sequel
annoys
to
me.
not Royal is the weird thing. It's only a sequel to
Well,
the original Persona 5.
see, like that is annoying, but so
Yeah.
I feel like I may have to be compelled to play that at some point, or maybe I'll probably play it.
Apparently
But
it's really good though.
yeah, I just it's the burnout, man. I got a
Mhm.
stigma in my head that I'm just like I fucking can't deal with it.
Yep.
Where Morgana's like, you should go to bed. I'm like,
You should go to the pound.
you. Yeah. So another series that I feel uh we've been late to, and I've been always wanting to get into it. And I just can't. I keep hitting this barrier. I really want to be a Dragon Quest guy, but I feel like I keep smacking into like I don't. I just so I don't know if it's just not for me or I don't. I'm missing out.
Well, I'll tell you this: 11 is on Game Pass. You can play it right now, and it's pretty good. So that's
That's
where
what
I would
everyone
start.
says.
I would just
Well,
I would just give Dragon Quest 11 because Dragon Quest 11 isn't as hard as the other ones,
I,
and I think
I
it's
have it
a
right
good
here. I
entry
have the
point.
Switch version.
The Switch version's dope. The Switch version's dope because you can actually change your costumes.
Yeah.
Um, because Dragon Quest the 11, the original version, does one of my big sins, which is equipment is tied to costumes.
Nope. Mm-mm.
So like you get, like, for instance, in the pre-ordered version that I got, you got the Dragon Quest 8, the hero, you got
Oh,
his
cool.
outfit, but they're all individual pieces of equipment. And of course,
Why?
because you're going to be the beginning of the game, they're like level one pieces of equipment, so you can't use them in the
Uh,
rest of the game. So that
well, my
sucks.
problem with Dragon Quest and what like I guess makes me hesitant to get into them is I'm told like the stories aren't really anything ever to write home about. Like they're not great stories.
Yeah, so and that's why I recommend 11 because 11 it does have a really good story. The other ones, you're right. It's all about the mechanics of the JRPG of battling and grinding and just beating the game essentially. There's stories
Yeah,
there, but they're not front and center like the other ones.
yeah, and I feel like I don't understand. I guess I don't understand why it's like that because I feel like a game like that, with especially with the art style, like it has such a unique and special art style that it needs a good story. Like it
I agree.
needs like I don't know. So I'm hoping with the new Dragon Quest, which is supposed to be like a darker tone, that they're gonna do something with it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think I've played only 8 and 11, but I know a lot about the series just because of, being on the internet forever and being a big fan of Akira Toriyama. Um I wasn't the biggest fan of 8, which is like the Tales of Symphonia or Final Fantasy 7 of the series, which is like
Mhm.
the main one everyone loves. Just because of that, because I didn't like the gameplay driven nature of it, how it didn't have much of a story. But 11, I put like 50 or 60 hours into. And I play it on my phone or something whenever I don't have any other options on Game
Mhm.
Pass. So
Now
that's kind of how far I got with the series.
I love what I played of it. I played the demo and I remember just like loving the music. Like the music, really, I was really into the music. I don't know, I just like that symphony soundtrack and
Hmm.
the big, beautiful art style of the world. Like it felt sprawling. I don't know. There's things there I want to like. I want to like it, and I just feel like they do things to prevent me from liking it.
Yeah. um,
So, yeah.
Another series that I was late to, very late to, was Tales. So I
Oh yeah, you were
played
late as
Tales of
fuck.
Symphonia a little bit as a kid. Never got too far in it, but the first real Tales game that I played and beat was Tales of Xillia, and yep, that was my number one. That was the first one I ever played. Um, and I know you're not a big fan of the Tales of Xillia games, but I thought they were pretty good. I thought the first one was good. The second one I thought was hot trash. Um, but I've liked almost every other Tales game that I've played since then, excluding Zestiria, which is widely considered the worst Tales game in the whole series. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Tales. I
All
love
right,
Tales of Arise that came out last year, and big fan.
all right. So, has Tails come up really? Have we ever had an in depth conversation about Tails? I know we've kind of danced around it.
We've mentioned it here and there, but I don't think we've ever had an in depth conversation.
All right, so let's break it down. Like we're gonna break it down for a little bit. We're gonna everyone get comfortable, get a drink, get we're gonna go down a little we're on a little journey here. So I know I've said in the past that I have massive burnout from the Tales series. And I famously have after Zillia 2, I've dabbled. I played Zisteria, which I don't like the game. There are things about the game I do like. I like the combat actually, but the story sucks. And so when I went back into the Tales series after playing Zillia 2, which I like better than Zillia 1, minus the stupid money system, which is infuriating, I will say I paid off the debt. Paid off the debt.
That's crazy.
And
Good for you.
that probably was what led me to being burned out. Because what Zillia 2 does, anytime your money's up, it'll be like ding ding ding, your loan payments due.
Yes,
And they make it a point like to fucking run your pockets.
yes, and it's
So
super annoying.
yeah, it's really annoying. Other thing about Tales of Zillia, Alvin can fuck off. That guy sucks. Worst written fucking character. Uh, but my journey with the Tales series, my first Tales game was Tales of the Abyss.
Mm.
And I really loved Tales of the Abyss. But my experience with Tales of the Abyss and why I like the Tales series is you can co-op all the Tales. Well, to my knowledge, you were able to co-op most of the Tales games. So
Yes.
when I was working at Elite Games, there was a dude. Do you remember that video? I don't. It's on their channel or their Facebook page where the guy was doing the worm and like smacked his nuts off the off the off the
No, I
floor.
don't
He
know
was he
that.
did he so he we used to do giveaways and like I used to make people do stupid shit like quack like a duck for something free or something dumb. Like it was something dumb, and he like, yo, I will give you a. I forget what I gave him. I think I gave him Guitar Hero or something like that. I'm like, yo, I'll give you Guitar Hero for free if you do the worm, and he like fucking did the worm and smacked his nuts like right off the floor. It's a real good
my
video. Um, and but that guy, his name's Johnny Carter. I I actually played Tales of the Abyss with him.
Mm.
He's like, yo, you got to check out this Tales of the Abyss. I'm like, what the fuck is Tales of the Abyss? Never heard of this. So I play it with him, and I loved the fucking game. Loved it. And we ran through the whole game, boss fights and everything. So it was pretty cool. And then we started running through Tales of Symphonia, but then he got busy with a job or whatever. So like I just ran through the game by myself. So Tales of Symphonia was the first Tales game I played completely alone, that I experienced the story all by myself, and I really enjoyed it. I loved the combat. I thought the characters were great. Like I like Lloyd, I like Kratos. I like every there's no characters in that game I don't like. Love Tales of Symphonia. Then I played Tales of Legendia, and that's considered at the time was considered the black sheep of the Tales series. I actually really liked Tales of Legendia once I realized it's classic Tales with the 2D, like with the 2D battle plane, and you kind of the way the battle system goes. It's classic Tales, and if you can't appreciate that about that game, that's on you, because like the game it's a great game. I love Tales of Legendia, really did. And then we fell off
Right.
for a bit, and then I missed Vesperia. I missed Tales of Vesperia, so hand up. And then because that's also considered like a banger Tales game. It's
Yeah.
like
So
I feel like it's considered the last real banger until Arise or Bizarian Arise.
so I'm looking at the Metacritic overall scores of all the Tales games right now.
Mm.
Tales of Arise ranks number one as the best Tales game. Tales of Symphonia is number two, and Tales of Vesperia is number three. Tales of Berseria is under that, and then we have Tales of the Abyss, Destiny 2, Zillia, Grace's F, Zesteria, Hearts R,
Tales of
and
Hearts R
then
sucks.
Legendia, and then Zillia 2.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much, yeah, Tales
So
of Symphonia remastered under all of them, which apparently it's
and then
terrible.
Dawn of the New World doesn't even chart.
Yeah, Dawn of the New World's hard because I'm trying to find Dawn of the New World is under or is the same score. I think it
Okay.
came in the remastered version.
Yeah, it did. Well, it came in the old remastered version, not the new one.
Well, so I'm looking at Tales. Dawn of the New World has a 68, and Symphonia Remastered also has a 68.
Uh,
Apparently, it's terrible on Switch. It got a 63 on Switch.
yeah, dude,
So
it's
I don't know.
brutal. I have actually never played Dawn of the New World. It's a Wii game. It originally came out on the Wii.
I remember people not liking it, but it's surprising to me that Tales of the Arise on PS5 and Xbox Series are the best rated Tales game of all time.
That doesn't shock. I don't think that shocks me. Not really at all. Because to be honest, it's A, the most recent Tales game, and B, like I think just I think they changed the battle system a bit,
And
and
the
it's
art style.
next and art style next gen. So I gotta play Arise and Berseria, because even according to you they're good, but then according to Metacritic apparently they're good. So, but the reason I was like kind of taking you through my Tales journey is I felt like when I played Zillia and then Zillia 2, like we took a nosedive.
Yeah.
And then so we took a nosedive, and I really do not care for those games. Like those, it's like pledging fraternity. It's like the most amount of fun I want to have like once. And then yeah, like I don't want to do it again. And then I was already burnt out on the Tales series, and then I bought Tales as Hysteria and got burnt on that for
Yeah.
$60. That was a fat L. So like I just have this sour fucking taste in my mouth from the
Yeah.
from the Tales series, and it's hard for me to come back. Once you burn your boy, it's hard for me to come back.
I always tell people when we're talking about the Tales series, I say, for Tales of Zestiria, watch the anime instead of playing the game because the anime is 24 episodes and it's really, really good. But the game is just, they tried to do this weird change with the battle system and they tried to take advantage of like the PS4 and Xbox One. Actually, I don't think it came to Xbox One. But they tried to take advantage of the PS4's new generation and its power. Um, and it flopped. It fell on its face. And then back to when they went to Berseria, which actually takes place in the same world as this area. It's a prequel. Um, when they went to Berseria, it they went back to like the Tales of Zillia battle system, and it worked a lot better, especially for that cast of characters, because that cast of characters is awesome. You actually play as demons.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I said, I want to go back to the Tales series. I do. It's just hard for me to put it. It's hard for me to slot it into my like radar because like I just feel like so many other games that I have, so many other series that I've now have loyalty to, just slot ahead of it right now.
Right.
Like I'm more liable to. I really want to play East 8. Like I really want to play through that. So I'm more liable to play East 8 versus a Tales game right now. And it sucks because like I had such a good experience with so many other Tales games, but now I just feel like
Well, they were pumping them out once a year, right? They were pumping out
yeah,
these mediocre Tales games every
and
single
it needed
year
to go
because they
away.
sell. Yeah, they needed to go away and kind of regain their footing. For the record, Berseria was the last Tales game they made yearly. I think it's phenomenal, but I know other people don't. Metacritic says otherwise, as it being the second highest rated one, or third. I forget what it was, but I think Berseria is phenomenal, and I think the cast of characters is super cool. And I feel the same way about Tales of Arise. Tales of Arise, dude, I would die for like a direct sequel to Tales of Arise or some DLC or something because I just want more of that game. I'm really excited to see what Bandai does with the next Tales game. I'm glad they're not making it yearly again, which I was afraid of. That's
Yeah,
what Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed. They're like, oh,
killed that series, dude.
we're gonna take a back seat for a few years, and they made Origin, which was really good, and they made Odyssey, which was really good, and they're just continuing to pump the life out of this
Yeah,
franchise.
no, you can't do that.
No, you should do like at every other year at max, or every 3 years, or something like that. You
Yeah,
can't you can't just
you gotta give games time to breathe, man.
dude. I used to love Assassin's Creed. I was a huge Assassin's Creed fan, but they started making them yearly, and right around like the Black Flag is where I was
That
like,
was when I
nah, I'm
quit.
out. I'm done.
That was when
I'm
I
out of
quit,
this.
dude. That was I'll never forget the scene that made me put the controller down. And ironically, my roommate had the same feeling too. It's your whatever the fucking guy's name is. You either kill an assassin, you do something to an assassin, then you just don his robe, and now you're an assassin. I'm like, yeah, done.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what? Excuse me. I
Yeah,
felt the
like no,
same
we're
exact
out.
way.
Yeah, so it's and then like spoiler alert, they killed Desmond at the end of 3, and then I was like, okay, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, and that was the story that was keeping me going with the series,
Yeah,
because and it was clearly intended at Assassin's Creed 3 that they wanted to crush that storyline. They were like, we're sick of doing this. We want the story to be all about the assassins, so that's why they ended it like that. But it
and
was a terrible move.
that is like one of the biggest L to me. If you look at like revisionist history in gaming, like that's like one of the all time L's in gaming because
Yeah,
I remember so many of us were big Assassin's Creed fans. Like everyone loved. I couldn't find people who didn't love that series because you had 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3. Like even 3 was still a good game until the end.
right.
Um, and like I just remember, I'm like they fucking like. I was like, what? Why? I thought
Yep.
we were leading up to modern day Assassin's Creed. I thought that's what we were gonna get. I thought we were gonna get that game. It just never happened.
And I still, to this day, my gaming conspiracy theory is that Watch Dogs was supposed to be the modern day Assassin's Creed, and that's how
That
that
would
game
make
started.
sense.
I really truly believe that Watch Dogs was going to be the modern Assassin's Creed, and then when they did what they did to Desmond, they scratched that idea and went with something else, which was like this hacking thing.
Yeah, and I just, oh my god, I just remember they were like at the time Revelations came out, like I was starting to get burnt out with Ezio. Like, okay, we got to wrap this up here.
Yeah,
But like those games are, I have such good memories with those games, man.
yeah.
Would never play them again though. Wouldn't do it.
I would play I would play like the first four again. I think
No.
not like the numbered ones, but like the first four games. I would play them again.
Yeah. Well, it's sad because they've come out with ones that like almost interested me. Like Syndicate was one that was like I was like, ooh, London? That could be it. No, it was at Rogue. There was one of them that came out that was like you were in like London, like
Syndicate. Syndicate. That was it.
fuck my throat. But Yeah, but other than that, like Ubisoft honestly hasn't put out fuck all that I'm interested in a long time. Like maybe Far Cry, but I thought Far Cry after 5 halfway through lost its like we lost a little momentum there for me.
Yeah. So the last Far Cry game I enjoyed was Far Cry 3, and then I played Far Cry 4, and I'm like, so we're just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, well they
Just
cause the thing they hit a tape measure home run with Far Cry 3. Like that was
yep.
like they knocked it out of the park and like you know, so if a formula works and people love it, why would you go away from it? But then like the quality of like Crazy Guy went down. You know what I mean? So,
No, I don't know what you mean by crazy guy. The quality of crazy guy. What do you mean?
well, like the main villain, like you know, in 3, the guy's like why everyone loves that villain because he
Oh,
was so
oh, the quality of
crazy.
bad guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I got you. I got you.
yeah, but then like it just went downhill. Like I don't know, I just didn't like the way they handled Far Cry. And like I said, Assassin's Creed is fucking brutal. Rainbow Six or anything Tom Clancy sucks. They killed Splinter Cell.
Do you remember when we used to have E3? Ubisoft was always the worst conference every year.
Yeah, it was always Just Dance and oh man.
Rough
One of
stuff.
our all-time famous stories. We've probably told this on the podcast before, but when we all got together, this was at the Lockhaven house, and we were watching the Microsoft conference, and we're like, all right, boys, because they were getting ready to announce the One X or talk about it, and we're like,
Hmm.
all right, boys, for every time they say teraflop, we're doing shots,
Yep.
and like the first, like literally the first minute, the guy goes teraflops, we're like, ah, shit, never said it
Yep.
again the whole time.
Yep. And it was funny because the announcement conference for the Xbox One, they said it like 14 times. So we
I
were all
know
prepared
that's
for it. And then nope, we only got one. Then it was super lame.
that's like one of the all-time funniest things I remember. Like we're like, oh shit, and nope,
Also, fun fact, the last time I saw Elijah.
really.
Yep, that was the last time. He was super pissed that I disagreed with him on something during that like live podcast we were doing, and he just left without even saying goodbye. You remember this? He left his
No.
like he left his like chairs and everything
Oh
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
because
man,
we had a
Elijah
chair that
Rage
said
quit.
we had a chair that said kinky hips forever. You remember that?
I
That
do
was
now. That's awesome.
that
I
was his
forgot all
mom's
about
chair.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Apparently, his mom was called Kinky Hips.
shout out to Elijah. Hope you've been well,
Shout
bud.
out to Elijah. Shout out.
Oh man. So kinky. If I can't. Let me just let that settle for a minute there. So it's with series like that you feel late to, then they get killed off. Another one that I felt like has been really done injustice and that I was late to, Metro.
Mm,
I love the first Metro game. I beat the first one, beat the second one. That haven't played Exodus, but I haven't heard great things about it, and I just feel like that series has been kind of killed off. All the momentum's gone now with Stalker 2 coming out or whatever. Whenever that happens, like those style of games are dead to me. Vampire the
yeah,
Masquerade, I was fucking late to, and that's like probably my favorite PC game ever is Vampire the Masquerade.
never played it.
Oh, dude, that's a fucking that's a
Yeah.
time sink. Yeah, and I'm really excited for the sequel, but I don't know if it's ever coming out.
Um. Yeah, they announced that sequel a long time ago,
Yeah, but then like weird
but
games come out in that franchise, and I'm like, what?
that's a board game too. You know that, right?
Yeah, not a board
But
game guy though.
not well. You could be if you were around me. We play board games all the time.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to
But
that.
okay. The last one I wanted to talk about was Resident Evil. I was
Mm.
super super late to Resident Evil. I actually didn't play full through my first full Resident Evil game until Resident Evil 5. That was my first game I played through and beat. Yep. And then once I beat that, I went back and played other ones, including Resident Evil 4. But I've still never played the PS1 ones. I've never played the 1, 2, and 3. But I don't think they'd be for me because I don't think I'd like the tank controls. I think that would annoy me.
Okay, all right. So you have one of two options for this. You could either play Umbrella Chronicles, which is like an on-rail shooter that kind of runs you through the entire story, the original ones.
Hmm.
It's a good time. Or you could just play because they made remakes of them that are pretty good, but they're not in the first or third person style. They're the tank
Hmm.
controls, but like updated graphics, and I like them. But you're good playing two remake and then three remake, like you're fine. But yeah, because
Now,
those are great games, man.
what I will say is I started Resident Evil 7 and wasn't really the biggest fan of it, which is like I know like a crazy opinion because everyone loves it,
I didn't
but
really like seven either. But
the beginning of that game where you first get attacked, I popped that chick in the head immediately, and she didn't stop. And I'm like, all right, well, I shot her like four more times, and she still didn't. I'm like,
mm.
all right, this is stupid.
So
Then we
here's
go
what's
to
funny. So I have a story to tell you about Resident Evil. When I was younger, I was probably like 8 or 9 or even 10 years old, maybe. And the thing to do with Resident Evil, and it pains me to say this now because like looking back, kind of being a giant bitch, but like the thing to do was you played it with the lights off, and it like actually that game used to actually scare the shit out of me.
oh yeah,
And
me
like
too.
I would watch my uncle play, my uncle John. He actually watches the show, which shout out Uncle John. What's up, buddy?
Shout out to Uncle John.
Yeah. He played through the director's cut of Resident Evil. And I remember just watching him play, being like, when he'd go through a door, I'm like, oh god, is there gonna be a zombie there? Is he gonna be fucking like? And like I would just I watched him play through almost that entire fucking game. I watched him play that, and I watched him play through Dino Crisis. And
Oh yeah, Dino Crisis. I forgot
I
about Dino Crisis.
and what's funny is like I don't really like watching. I don't like watching Let's Plays really, or unless I'm at a buddy's house and like we're shooting the shit while I watch him play a game that's different. But that game, I watched him play through it, and I was like, holy fuck! And I remember like when he fought the tyrant, I'm like, oh god, that thing's terrifying. Like, and then when I played Resident Evil 2, that was the first Resident Evil game I played by myself, and I remember like not wanting to go through certain doors. I'm like, oh god, what if there's a fucking zombie? What if Mr. X is there? And like, so I have a lot of good memories with that series. But my favorite all time Resident Evil game is 4, so I need to get the remake.
The only thing that bothered me about four from going from five to four was the ability to move and aim. Now
Yeah.
you couldn't move in five if I remember correctly, but that was
Mm-mm.
I remember very noticeable in four, and I just didn't like that. I wasn't a big fan of that because it forces you to take your eyes off of the enemy and turn and run. And now, granted, it does make it more scary, um, but it's such a weird, unrealistic mechanic that I couldn't break that barrier in my mind.
So for me, my my memories with 5 are, to me it's the worst game in the franchise, but it's one of my
Really
favorite games.
worse than six.
I think they're equal, but five's better than 6. But I haven't played 6 really because I there was ugh. Uh, so I have good memories with 5 because my buddy Adam, who I'm living with right now, he's always my fucking my right hand man when it comes to co-oping games. He's my right hand guy, and especially like because we've been co-oping games for fucking since we were in high school.
Hmm.
Um, and we co-opted 5, and we had a blast with it. And the only reason we had a blast with it is because we were playing with each other, so we just had funny memories. And then we played the game so much that we got the unlimited Desert Eagle, so we ran through on like hard,
Oh, that's
and we just
awesome.
yeah, so we had that game fucking mastered. But that's my only reason why I love that game, because of the co-op. If it wasn't for the co-op, dude, that game would be brutal.
Hmm. Yeah, the co-op
We
is
gotta
super
play. I
fun.
gotta play 6 with him at some point, but
Also, what I will say about five is I thought the mansion DLC was pretty sweet too.
I heard that was sweet. I never played the Mansion DLC.
Yeah, I played it through all the way. It's pretty hard in some parts as well,
Now,
but
did you
there's
co-op it?
yeah, I co-opted it with my ex girlfriend.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Oh yeah, I think I remember you talking about that actually. Uh, yeah, so like that's my memories with 5, and then 6 I didn't really like, but I didn't really also give it a chance because it kind of rubbed me the wrong way immediately, and then I saw all the terrible reviews. And
Yeah, I
then
got like halfway. I got like halfway through six, and I was like, I'm good. You know what game is pretty
it's
good though is Revelations. The
I heard
remastered
that's good. Yeah,
Revelations.
I heard
Yeah,
that's real good.
phenomenal. Yeah,
Yeah, I had
super.
Revelations on 3DS.
Yeah, that was a weird system to release that on.
Yeah, dude. You know how bad the original days of 3DS were, where we had to buy the fucking circle pad peripheral? Like, fucking
Oh my
God,
god,
Nintendo.
I forgot about that. Yeah, and the thing was is that I used it even when I didn't have a game for it because it made the 3DS more comfortable to hold.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Uh
God,
huh.
Nintendo sucks.
Yeah. Or remember when Kid Icarus came out? Like, yo, you should use a stand.
Yeah, I forgot. Oh my
Play a fucking
god.
game.
Oh my
Oh.
god, I forgot about that. How embarrassing, dude. This is we're talking 2 generations past dual thumbsticks, right? Like, come on. Get out of here.
And then the sad part is that fucking thing outsold the Vita. I can't.
Dude, and they were so late to dual thumbsticks too, because didn't the Wii only have 1 thumbstick?
Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah, it
only had the
did, it
little
did.
fucking. Yeah.
They were so late to dual thumbsticks. Until the Wii U, they didn't have dual thumbsticks.
Yeah, I was like, oh
No
my
Nintendo
god.
games until think about that. No Nintendo games until 2013 had dual thumbsticks.
Yeah. You know what's funny about Nintendo is a fucking like they release GameCube controllers to oh this is how you play Smash a fucking 20-year
Oh
old
wait, I guess
controller.
okay. I take that back. The GameCube technically did
Yeah, the
have 2
C stick
thumbsticks.
the fucking
Yeah, with its like octagonal like
yeah.
placement.
But and that's sad that like they were releasing a fucking controller from 20 years ago and that's the best way to play Smash. Like
Well, also people are just revisionist about that. You know, the Pro controller is definitely
it's
better than the
fine. The
GameCube
Pro
controller.
controller's
Yeah,
fine.
I like the Pro controller,
I like the Pro
but I
controller
mean,
too, but I do prefer a GameCube controller.
really,
If you're giving me my pick, yeah, fuck.
I think the GameCube controller is so overrated.
Well, as a
I think it's
controller,
nostalgia.
as a controller overall, yeah, but like for Smash, because you can like just fucking cheese with the C stick and not fuck it up like you can on a Pro controller.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because I have a Hori fight or I had a Hori fight pad for my Switch, and I famously ruined the fucking C stick because playing Smash back when I used to
I
care.
remember, dude. I remember when me, you, and Robert all got Smash Brothers, and it
I
was
know.
fun at first, and then it became real unfun real fast because you were dead serious.
I
You were
remember
like
when you
all
bought that.
having
Like,
fun, and it just chilling playing it, and then it became unfun really fast.
yeah, I remember when you bought Smash. I'm like, why did he buy? He's not gonna like this.
I mean, I liked the game for the most part, but what I didn't like about Smash, what really burned me out, was unlocking all the characters
Yeah.
because, dude, some of them were like brutally hard to unlock too.
Hmm.
When
Yeah.
you were doing the one on one with them, they were like
Yeah.
they were like absurdly hard.
One v
And then
one
if
me, bro.
and then if you lost against them,
That's it.
yeah, that was it. You only had one chance, and then like you had to wait until they came back around in the cycle to unlock them again. I was like, this sucks. I fucking
so
hate this.
so we'll wrap this topic up with this. Um, you've made game purchases with me I found questionable two times.
Okay.
Where Smash was one of them. Where I'm like, you went and bought Smash. I'm like that don't fit. And then when you went and bought Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna run through this. I'm like, oh, you're not.
What? No,
Yeah,
dude. I still feel like I'm gonna run through the Zodiac Age. I'm gonna install it on
like
my Steam Deck. I am,
you
and
have the fucking disc.
well, so yeah, I also have it on PC though. But like the thing is I from what I played when I played the Zodiac Age when I bought it with you, I was like I had very different um experience. Like I loved the Zodiac Age playing with you. I just put it down because I got
It's
distracted by
great.
something else.
It's
Yeah,
great.
I'm
I
really
love
enjoying
the
it.
Zodiac Age. Like the playing the Zodiac Age made me a Final Fantasy 12 guy. But
Yeah,
like, I remember when you bought it, I was like, oh, that's not gonna happen.
I still hate
That's
Van.
not gonna.
I still think Van is the worst protagonist in the series.
Yeah, Van sucks. Van
He's the
definitely
worst.
sucks. So, uh, moving on. So Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
What's going on with this arachnophobia toggle?
So this is just something I wanted to talk about because I feel like people are just such pussies. All right, like people are just like absolute cowards, and I can't take it anymore. And they put there's like I guess giant spider enemies
Uh-huh.
in Survivor, and they put a toggle so that you could just turn off those enemies, and there's nothing there if you have
What are they?
arachnophobia.
What do they replace them with? Like fucking snakes?
Nothing, nothing. They just take them out, and I'm like, what is? Come on,
Mhm.
grow the fuck up, all right? Like, like it's
Yeah, what the
okay to
fuck?
be a little scared sometimes. All right,
Yeah,
like I
that's
don't
kind of
like
what makes
spiders.
it. Yeah, that's what makes it kind of influential. Where you're like kind of
Oh
panicked and
my god,
you
dude.
might fuck up a couple times because you're playing through, a part in it where you don't really like something. I hate spiders too, but you'll never catch me turning on an arachnophobia fucking filter.
No, because you're not a bitch.
No.
Like I don't understand it, man. What is going on with like the so for instance, I think some accessibility settings are phenomenal, right? Like
Yeah,
I think
I
that
like the
like
colorblind settings. That helps your boy.
yeah, absolutely. The colorblind settings, definitely subtitle text size, stuff like that. But people are out of control demanding like easy mode on the Souls games
Yeah.
and like arachnophobia triggers. And remember that big controversy with like Boyfriend Dungeon or something like that, where they were like,
Mm-mm.
oh, this needs like a stalking trigger warning and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, shut up, just shut up. If you are too much of a coward, right, to see spiders in a video game, go to therapy. Go to therapy.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
quit your like whatever job you're doing and go work like a blue collar job for a couple years and just shut up. All right, because you clearly do not have a hard enough life.
Right. Yeah. I couldn't imagine being like crippling fear. I mean, and maybe I don't know, but it would have been one thing if like okay, if you have arachnophobia, we'll replace this with this, but like you just get nothing. No, 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 no. Come on,
Yeah,
you gotta face
and
your fear.
like what do they do when they watch Harry Potter? Are you really telling me these
If
people like
I don't watch Harry Potter,
cry and hide in a corner in Chamber of Secrets because they can't see a spider on screen? Shut up. I
yeah,
can't take it.
yeah, they probably don't watch it.
These people do not have my respect. Pedro.
Like
I don't
that's
respect these people.
yeah, I don't know. That's I can respect like having like we said earlier, having features where like the colorblind settings, or if you're handicapped, like disabled, like they have special settings you can have your controller.
Mhm.
Like I support all that, but arachnophobia, like really,
Yep.
really,
Like, just shut up. Yeah.
yeah.
Also, now that we're talking about Star Wars, let's talk about how I got absolutely dunked on by the
Oh yeah,
official
Brody, you got dummied.
Battlefront Archives YouTube channel
Wait, that's
who
the official
watched
one.
well not like sponsored
Uh,
by like we're talking about like this guy who like just documents all the Battlefront stuff. It's specifically Battlefront 3, right? Which was the game we were talking about. And he comments, the game was shut down in 2008, not 2012. Which, by the way, not my fault. I was reading it from an actual article. Okay. And all the stuff wasn't for Battlefront 3. It was from Battlefront 4, all the what if stuff. Um,
I
so
don't remember there
that
being
one
was
is
there
my
a
fault
battle?
because
Was there a
there
Battlefront
was
3?
what?
Did we get a Battlefront 3?
No, but the Battlefront 3 was so close to being released that they started working on Battlefront 4 already.
Oh wow.
And they had all that what if stuff that I was talking about, like Dark Side
Yeah.
Kenobi, Light Side Vader, and
Mm,
whatnot in Battlefront 4. So
mm,
that's
okay.
what was happening, and he's absolutely right. And I feel like an
My
idiot.
my man
So
came for you. Like he was
yeah,
like, you caught fucking heavy smoke, man. You were under fire.
and funny enough, this wasn't in a shorts, right? This was in a full podcast. So
It's a full pod. Full pod.
this this guy saw our title, "The Tragedy of Battlefront 3,"
And he
watched the
fucking
entire thing until we talked about Battlefront 3, and was like, not on my watch, buddy."
yeah, I sometimes like go just check our numbers to see how like certain shows we did or certain shorts are doing. I think overall I'm pleased obviously with progress, but
Mhm.
when I saw that I'm like, oh, you got hammered, buddy.
Yeah. He wasted no time. He wasted no time.
And you're going, I hope you like the show.
Yeah.
So listeners, watchers, if you ever need to come at us for something we say, please do because I love it.
Yeah.
Give me all the
Um,
smoke, all the smoke.
I didn't know what to say because like he's right, you know. I mean, and I'm a type of guy who like if I'm wrong about something, I'll admit it, right? And I was wrong about that.
Yeah,
He absolutely dunked on me. That's
yeah, he
fine.
fucking yeah. That
I don't take
hurt.
offense to it.
No, no, but it was funny to see. That was a fucking because I messaged you immediately when I saw
Uh huh.
that. Boy, you get dummied, buddy.
Yeah. So Battlefront Archives, if you watch this one as well, Maybe
Yeah.
I'll name this one something Battlefront 3 just so you click on it again. I appreciate you.
Just for him.
Yeah, I
Make all the
appreciate you.
clickbait. Oh man. I mean, in our defense, we've said probably dumber things on the show. I'm sure,
Like
objectively, I'm sure.
not including
Yeah.
Dragon Quest in the top 5 RPG franchises of all time.
Star Ocean had a Dragon Quest. Oof.
Arguably the biggest one.
Yeah, that's probably the most egregious things we fucking said on this show. So, moving right along to the best part of the show, my favorite part, where we get some shit off our chest. We're at our misconduct list. So, as usual, Robert Sully, number one, misconduct for him. But then we have Square Enix.
All right, I want to know what your beef is with Square right now.
So, my beef with Square is they Nintendo'd this Pixel remake fucking debacle.
In what way?
Do you know how much of a pain in the balls it is to get a physical copy of the Pixel remasters right now?
No, can you just download them?
Well, yeah, you can download them. That's not availability, like digitally, isn't the issue. But those of us who would like it in our hands because we know how the fucking digital marketplace works,
Hmm.
especially on something like that, you have to go through Play Asia right now in order to get a copy because all the North American copies have been sold out.
What? No longer available. Wow, there's an actual Silicon Era article about this.
Yeah.
Huh?
So guess what that
That's
means,
interesting.
buddy? What do you know what that you know what that's gonna mean, right?
Oh, they have like a collector's edition
Yeah.
that came out. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, but it makes it hard for people to get their hands on it. And like something like that, you want to buy physically. You want to buy that physically
We'll just buy it from
because
Play Asia. Play Asia is a
well, that
reputable source.
I know that's not the issue, but I shouldn't have to get the international version for
Oh,
like you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
that's why I said they Nintendoed this because like you knew that this was going to be in high demand. Like you
Hmm.
knew, and now you're telling us, oh no, limited print run. We're not going to fucking like really. Like, how, and that's the thing for me. Like, you drop this company, just they do great things we love, but then they drop the ball on like the stupid shit. Like, that's a no brainer. Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster should have been print a shitload of them, put it out there for all of our fans to be able to get it. Like, this is for you. Like, come
Wow.
on.
Also, shout out to Square Enix. They make the worst collector's editions of all time. Um, their collector's edition for this was $260, and it comes
Yeah,
with two vinyls, little pixel art book, an anniversary box, and tiny little pixel figurines, and that's it.
yeah. Like they
That's
just,
disgusting.
I feel like this wasn't handled like tactfully. Like it wasn't like you were literally putting out the classic Final Fantasies, like the ones people like. I know people love Seven, right? Like people that's like the top tier. Like
Hmm.
you can't make a mistake, you can't fuck up anything with Seven. You can't do it, can't happen. But like the pixel Final Fantasies are held to like they're like upper echelon, top tier.
They're
Everyone, they're like
legendary.
in, yeah, they're like in the Disney category of like their classic films. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
they're in that same boat for gamers. So
Hmm.
when you lazily put something out and like, ah, get it whenever it's gone, it's gone. Like that's not okay. You can't do that, Square. You cannot. And this is also coming off them fucking up Chrono Cross
Yep.
initially,
Yep.
and Tactics Ogre, which is a game people really like, came out not great. Like so, and then also we've had missteps with like the Secret of Mana remake with like
Well, so Square is on my shit list right now because their quality control and their action figures is abysmal. So like their Bring Arts line, which is like their 6-inch figures line,
yeah.
is like they're notorious for quality control. Now I personally believe we're going to see Chrono Trigger figures come out on this line very soon because we have Dragon Quest figures in this line. We have Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and then we have Xenogears figures. We have a Xenogears line of Bring Arts action figures,
Mm.
and and Final Fantasy Tactics is on,
Ooh.
and the World Ends with You figures, right? So like they're giving love to some like um offshoot
Right.
franchise that haven't seen love in a long time, but their quality control is like disgusting in these
Yeah.
figures. For instance, I got you might remember her from Final Fantasy 14, Y'shtola, the cat mage. She came to me with two left feet, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Um, I forgot. I actually don't have her set up. I gotta set her up at some point along with my cloud. And their play arts Kai figures originally a really good line, but they have gotten so prohibitively expensive that you're almost better off just like not buying them and investing in like a Hot Toys figure or something because they're like $250 now for a play arts Kai and or 200 if you get one of the one with not as many accessories. But I just Square Enix keeps fucking up like their general releases, and the fact that Chrono Cross was fixed is great, right? It should have been fixed a year
Yeah.
ago. All
Right. It
right.
shouldn't have came
And
out like that. It should have came out like that.
no, it shouldn't have. But they just keep doing it, man. And they keep doing it, I think because they might be in trouble. Like something happened to Square Enix this year. Can we at
Yeah.
least all admit that? That something
Yeah.
weird happened to
Something.
Square Enix
Yeah.
because they released like 10 games and they
That was
continue to do
weird.
this.
Yeah.
They release like a ton of games right on top of each other, and they're all
Yeah.
like eating each
They're
other
like dumping
alive.
them out.
Like
Which do you think they're gonna get bought?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I really don't. I would normally have played almost all of Square Enix's games that they released, you know,
Yeah, but you couldn't
but
get to them all the time, like at all.
I couldn't make time for them all. And I don't understand what they were thinking releasing like Dio Field Chronicle and
Valkyrie
Live
Elysium. Yeah.
Alive or yeah,
Yeah.
Valkyrie Elysium. Like I would normally play these games. Didn't get to them. And because they
Yeah.
released Crisis Core Remastered right around the same time, which
Right.
cannibalized all my time, which I still haven't gotten to or haven't finished yet.
I haven't played it. It's still in the shrink wrap sitting for me.
It's good. You should play. Have you played Crisis Core before?
I didn't. I never finished the original. I know what happens, but I just never finished it.
They changed
I'm
Zach's
excited.
voice actor. They
Oh,
changed
yeah.
Zach's voice actor.
You were saying they didn't like you didn't like his voice actor.
It's really frustrating to me because his original voice actor was very good, and that's the voice I can hear. His voice actor was so good, right? That when I picture Zach, I can hear his voice in my head. And then they changed it for no reason at all. They changed all the voice actors in the remaster. Not
Yeah.
sure why.
I wonder if they couldn't get that voice. Like, do you ever like look to
No,
see if they?
the voice actor said he wasn't contacted.
Wow.
Yeah, so they did. They just made the decision to pick new voice actors for whatever reason,
Interesting.
which is crazy
Yeah.
because they're arguably not very good in the remaster, which is more like a remake. But
Yeah.
I thought the voice actors in Seven remake were phenomenal. Like I thought
Yeah. I
Cloud's
thought they were
voice was
great. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, so again, the last thing I'll say about Square, like they should know better at this point, and I feel like they don't learn. Like they do learn, but they don't, because like you remember back in the Final Fantasy 13 days, where remember that DLC they put Chrono in it and people snapped the fuck out.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I was
Yeah,
one of them.
yeah, and like there was a lot of backlash because like there's certain things you don't do because you know,
Yep.
or when remember when they released that tech demo of Final Fantasy 7, what it would look like. Why would you do that?
Yeah, and then they pretty much were forced 10 years later to make a remake because no one would shut the fuck up about it. Every single video or every single article, everyone filled in the comments, "Where's Final Fantasy 7 remake?"
Yeah,
And they were like, "We're not doing it. We're not going to make it ever." And then everyone's like, "No, actually
no,
you
you are,
are
you are. But
because
then
we want it."
in their defense, the amount of balls they fucking showed with what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake, like that took balls. Because
Yeah,
all we
absolutely.
really wanted was just a one for one remake of the original. And you know what's crazy? If they still did a 1-to-1 remake in that engine, would just put it in that engine, make it turn based, that would fucking sell like hotcakes.
So how do you feel about the Ever Crisis then?
Well, I don't know what that is.
That's the mobile port that has all three stories together.
When's that
And
coming? That sounds
it's like
interesting.
chibi art style. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
but like it looks good. It looks like the original art style. Ever. Crisis release date. It says 2023. I can't believe you haven't seen anything about Ever Crisis. Ever Crisis looks sweet, dude.
That I haven't seen nothing.
Yeah, it goes through the entire Final Fantasy VII story. Apparently, it says there might be a
I,
beta launching in the summer.
uh, okay, might check that out. Might check that out.
Yeah, so
So
like on the world map, it's got like chibi art style, like the original Final Fantasy VII does. But when you go into battles, it has the full remake art
okay,
style.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
sweet. I'll have to check that out. All right. So last thing on our misconduct list, and I talked to you a little bit early about this before the show. So I was at work yesterday, and me, a coworker of mine, and our supervisor we're talking video games, specifically the Switch. We're talking about the Switch because my coworker Jordan, Mister Jordan Wise, he bought a Switch. Was talking all this shit about, I'm gonna buy a Switch and buy all these games. He's done fuck all with his Switch. I think he played Doki Doki Literature Club, and that's
Good
about it.
game.
Which great game, yeah. But he then goes, yeah, I was playing Breath of the Wild and didn't really care for it. And I got into it like, yeah, me and Seth on the show, we have some opinions about fucking Breath of the Wild. Let me tell you, which I've gotten feedback on it. But my friend Adam, who watches the show, he was like, "That's not what it's about. It's about the exploring. It's about the this." It's like he's a
Okay, so
Zelda
but
guy.
the
He's a
exploring
Zelda guy.
sucks. So like, what? How is it about the exploring when the exploring is fucking terrible? Whatever.
He's a Zelda guy. And then, but then Jordan, he was like, "Yeah, that was my first Zelda game." I was like, "Whoa," and like so he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know he doesn't know what he missed out on as to why like us
Yeah, he missed
old
out on the good
heads.
Zeldas.
Yeah, and then he said the other hurtful thing where he goes, "The Switch is my first Nintendo." Yeah.
Is he new to gaming?
No, he's just 25 or 24 even. He's just a young little whippersnapper.
So his first gaming console was probably like the PlayStation 2, and he just kept going with PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah.
Just got a Nintendo console. Okay, I mean it checks out.
It still hurts. It still pains me.
Hey, our time's over, buddy. You gotta remember that our time is done. All right, these kids
Yeah.
coming in, their first consoles are probably gonna be the PS3 or Xbox 360 soon.
Oh.
Yep. No one's gonna
You know,
know of the GameCube or the Dreamcast. That's far distant memories. That's over.
dude, these young kids, I see a lot of mobile gaming and it like generally bothers me.
Yeah, fuck mobile games.
Yeah, I see a lot of mobile games like, oh, I play this game, I play that game, I play Fortnite on my phone. Just like what's happening?
Parents, parents not introducing their kids to real gaming. Losers.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like there's gonna be a universe where we're in our like mid 40s and we're still gonna be like shocked when people are like, I hate turn-based RPGs. We're like, oh,
I don't know. I
like
feel like the
we're
turn-based
looked at as
RPG is making a comeback,
yeah for us because like we're the big market for it.
but
But kids these days hate them.
I don't understand why they can't put real gaming experiences on phones. Like why is that not happening? They're
People's
more than powerful enough. I can run
attention
emulators on
spans.
my phone that can play these games. Why can they not put full gaming experience? And to Square Enix's credit, I know we dunk on them a lot. They've tried, and they
Yeah,
release these games for like $20, and I found them perfectly playable. But
yeah,
I think the big restrictor might be the controls. Touch controls are fucking
yeah,
ass. They're terrible.
yeah. I mean, you can get away with touch controls for like a turn-based RPG, I think, but yeah, like I played the Final Fantasy First Soldier that lasted a year, thanks Square, and that yeah, those controls were kind of ass, but the graphics were good.
Yeah, I think
So,
Square Enix might be the only company doing like these full release games.
but then didn't they do some interesting shit? Remember like Mobius? I don't know if that's still a thing.
Yeah, they shut Mobius down. I think.
Or what was the other one that was like was almost all cutscenes? I can't think of it.
I think you are thinking of Mobius, buddy.
Is it yeah Mobius? Then they did a Star Ocean game randomly on fucking phone.
Yeah, they
That
do a
was like
lot
a
of phone.
sequel to
They,
Integrity
they
and Faithlessness, which I
There's a official Tales game on phone. They're all like gotcha games. There was the Square Enix
yeah
game that was you could have like 100 people on the screen at the same time, 100
yeah
heroes, all the bravest. I think it was called.
yeah all the bravest. Yeah, remember Kingdom Hearts Key?
Oh my god! Don't get me. Let's not talk about Kingdom Hearts. It's too soon.
Yeah, I
How
just
do you
remember
feel about How do you feel about Crazy Nomura making Kingdom Hearts 4 the old school versus 13? How's that feel for you? Which is clearly what it is, right? I mean, let's all
Yeah.
be honest.
Which I will say this. Fair. Okay. Like you developed all that world. Fine. I'm glad you get to see your vision. Don't fuck it up. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't fuck
He's
up.
gonna fuck. He's gonna fuck it up.
Like I have such a love hate relationship with that guy. But yeah, don't fuck it up. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't fuck it
Dude,
up.
if the current trend continues, we saw that trailer last. I think it was last year for Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
4.
we're not
Right?
gonna see that game. We're gonna be 40 when that fucking game comes out. Like
We're
fuck.
not gonna see that game for another 10 years.
Like if I'm in my 40s and I'm just now playing a fucking Kingdom Hearts game, like holy fuck, bud.
It's gonna happen. You might
Because you
be
think I
playing
was
Kingdom
what?
Hearts 5 or 6 by then.
Yeah, dude, I was what 14 when I beat Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 3 until I was 29 years old or whatever. Fuck it.
Yep.
God.
Square Enix fumbled the ball on the Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts series for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that there's anything in those Kingdom Hearts games that took that long to make.
No.
Especially
No.
Kingdom Hearts 3, dude. Especially.
No.
Dude, Ubisoft cranks out a fucking open world game with Assassin's Creed that looks better than that every single year. You can't
Yeah.
tell me that Kingdom Hearts 3 needed that much long or that long to cook. I refuse
Correct.
to believe it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So, in closing, stop hurting us, Square. Stop it.
Yeah.
You have anything else you wanted to get off your chest? I feel like we've had a great show. Nice. Went on some journeys, had some good talks.
No, buddy. We're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna take 20 minutes and go play Jedi Survivor. I'm hyped out the ass for it.
Yeah.
Hyped out the ass.
I am gonna probably go to bed because I have to go to work in the morning, unfortunately.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And yeah, that's gonna be I hate adulting, man. Fuck. Going to work every day. Ugh.
Oh, dude, I'm so checked out of work right now. I have to get through this weekend, and then I'm off for a month.
I need a vacation. We're running on fumes, right? Like you know
Yep.
how sometimes like the tank, you're at a quarter tank. I'm like, we're approaching E.
My boss says he gets annoyed when he's on vacation because by the end of his vacation, he feels like he needs to get back to work. I have never felt that. I've never
Yeah,
been
no,
on
I
vacation
never.
being like, can't wait to get back to the old grind.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, me who was like famous for grinding, I was never like whenever I did take a vacation, I was like dreading going like fuck, I don't want to go
Yeah.
back.
Well, that's
So
because you worked yourself to your bloody knuckles.
yeah, and so I'm feeling like the tail end of that, like the last 12 months where like I've had an easy schedule and but like I just the mental like like
Mental
we're there.
strain of beating your ass for a decade. It's
Yeah,
finally catching up to you.
it's caught up where I'm like I like so desperately need to take a vacation. I just need to, get some life stuff worked out before I can like realistically take one
Mhm.
or responsibly take one. Let me say that. And then because when I do, I'm probably taking like 2 weeks off and just fucking going off the grid, baby.
Going to
I get
Fiji,
away.
getting
Yeah,
jerked off on a beach. Hey,
yeah.
why don't you go to Thailand, get jerked off by some lady boys, huh?
Let's not do that. I think I'm
Let's
okay with
schedule
that.
that for you.
No, I think actually you can go to jail for that in Thailand now, and I don't want to go to jail in Thailand.
Oh, really?
I think so. I'm pretty sure prostitution's like very illegal there.
Dude, there's this amazing channel I watch where this dude just sits at a restaurant in the center of Thailand, right? Or
I
the
just
center of
watch his
Bangkok, I
fucking.
think it is.
I just
And he
watch his
watches
fucking.
yeah, he watches these lady boy prostitutes pick up tourists and he like laughs at these guys. He's like, "Ha, he doesn't realize she's a boy."
You know, all right. So I feel like that could easily happen to anybody.
Oh, I know. You've seen some of them. It's so convincing.
You know how
But
horrifying
also,
that is. Like,
they're very like persistent too. They'll like follow you,
yeah,
and you're
yeah.
trying
Like
to like get away from them.
that's why like I feel like I'd probably end up in jail. Like I fucking socked somebody because they fucking wouldn't. Like it would be good. And then like, could you imagine how horrifying it is? Like let's say you do the deed, right? Let's say you fucking seal the deal and like, all right, we're gonna go back to the hotel and fucking bam, they're packing heat, son.
Yeah,
At
and
that
then
point, what are
if
you
you,
gonna do?
and
What are you
nothing,
gonna do? You
you're
paid
gonna
two
run
thousand
away.
bucks. Are you though? There's some people who like, you know what? No one will know about this. Let's all right.
Dude, $2,000 is like an absurdly high number. It is way less money than that. It's like 50
I'm
bucks.
sure. Oh
Yeah.
god. Yeah, I couldn't. No, I don't think I'd be able to do that.
No, because we looked into all this that one time. Me, you, and
We
Robert were
didn't look
thinking
into
about.
getting lady boys. No, we did not, sir.
Oh
Don't
no,
tell that
no, 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 no. We
Hey,
didn't.
whoa.
We didn't. But the conversation came up. This is when I discovered that channel about going to
Yeah.
Thailand.
Oh
And
yeah.
because we were pricing out how like vacations to go on, and Robert
Yeah,
said Thailand because it's apparently like a really fun party city or whatever,
yeah.
and
Not that kind of partying, people. Well,
that kind of partying.
not that we're bigots here or nothing, but we ain't not my
I
scene,
think it's a
man.
I think it's a great idea, buddy. Let's sign you up.
No, no, it's not. I mean, Thailand has great hiking. I will say that. I would
It has
go.
great hiking.
It does. It has like some of the best hiking in the world and good food.
Oh my
But
god.
like, we're gonna avoid Phuket. We're not gonna be. We're gonna if we go to Bangkok and we go to enjoy the nightlife. We're gonna stay in the bars. We're not gonna be. We're not gonna be doing none of the shenanigans.
It's called
I can't.
Bangkok for a reason, Pedro. Your
I
cock is
can't.
gonna be a banging, buddy. All right, that's what's
No,
gonna
yeah,
happen here.
can't do it. Can't do it. So, with that being said, that's our show. Check us out on YouTube. We can be found at Alpha Nerds Podcast. We are on Twitter at Alpha Nerds Prime. We were trying to work out how to discover ourselves on Spotify because apparently the podcast is there somewhere in the ethos of Spotify. So whenever that is announced, it'll be on our Facebook page and possibly Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, I did no lady boys. I can't do it. Can't. No.
We're gonna
So
check in on your ladyboy update, Pedro.
no, we're not. So that's been our show. And when in doubt, remember, square up, throw down. We need Jesus.